Missing in Arizona. Tomorrow marks a year since a mysterious disappearance of a Phoenix woman.
Leads have been scarce in the case of Michelle Bernstein-Schultz, but the reward to locate her is now $10,000 as loved ones are still pleading for help. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum reports. Loved ones continue to search for a Phoenix woman who vanished without a trace.
The last seen near her apartment nearly a month ago.
For the mother and sister of Michelle Bernstein-Schultz, time seemingly stood still, yet the clock kept ticking and the calendar kept turning.
I believe that in a few days, the nightmare was going to be over. There was going to be an explanation. And as time went by, your mind begins to play a lot of tricks on you.
And we're nowhere closer to answers. There's no information at all, not one sighting, not one clue of anything.
Where is 37-year-old Michelle Bernstein-Schultz? That simple question haunts her mom, Patricia Yaloz.
I have never been so depressed, so sad. I feel I have been weakened to my bones.
She's known as Elle to loved ones and close friends. Divorced twice, a mother of two, with a son from each marriage. An avid hiker and dog owner, Michelle lived with her boyfriend in North Phoenix. The tides at Paradise Valley near 40th Street and Greenway Road. And on June 29th, 2022, it's like she just vanished.
I felt like my world has stopped. I felt like I took a deep breath in and I was not able to let it out.
Daniella Smith says her sister was texting back and forth with a friend that June afternoon up until 4:03. Then Michelle left her apartment and her personal belongings.
I don't know if she left behind, but in her apartment, as far as we know, were her identification, her passport, her keys, her everything. Her phone. I've never seen Michelle leave the house without her phone and without her identification.
Into the triple-digit summer heat of Arizona.
Did she show any indication that she just wanted to leave?
No. There was no indication that she wanted to leave. She's never done this before. She knew that she was going to be getting a settlement from a car accident the very next day.
Michelle clearly never picked up that $2,500 check. Her boyfriend reported her missing. Patricia found out through a text from him the next day. Patricia says when she spoke to the boyfriend later, he told her Michelle had not been feeling good and didn't want to be bothered the day prior, so he slept on the couch when he came home that night, only to find the bedroom empty the next morning. Michelle's family has never spoken to the man again. So I just spoke to Michelle's boyfriend, the last person to ever see her nearly a year ago. And right when I told him I was with Fox 10, he hung up the phone. He didn't want to talk, but I'm going to send him a text and see if he wants to tell his side of the story. I texted Michelle's boyfriend as well, but no response. When I asked Phoenix police if there is a suspect or a person of interest in the case, a spokesperson said there's not believed to be a threat to the community and that everyone involved has been cooperative in the investigation. Hi. My name is Justin Lum. I'm with Fox 10 News. I'm a reporter. Do you guys recognize this woman? We're looking for any sign of this woman.
Oh, they're still looking for her? We have a thing in the...
We have a picture.
Oh.
Since it's a busy area, we were just trying to figure out if somebody had seen any sighting of her, you know, within...
We can tack it in our front window if you want.
Okay.
We got extras of those.
As time feels like it's at a standstill, life is moving quickly as Michelle's two boys grow up, missing their mom.
It's not like she's on a vacation somewhere and we can call her and tell her and send her pictures. There have been milestones over the last year that she has missed that, and we don't even know how many more she will miss.
Patricia, how hard is it to keep that hope alive?
As a mother, I have to hope that I will see her again, because life is not the same. Life is not as I knew it. Holidays, I don't feel like I have things to celebrate because she's not here. And I don't know if she's suffering, I don't know if she's alive, I don't know anything.
I'm Justin Lum for Fox 10 Investigates.
If you have a tip, you can contact Phoenix Police. The family is offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to Michelle's location or resulting in an arrest and conviction of who could be responsible for her disappearance.